this one.
Congratulations, and Ryan, congratulations to you as well.
Thank you.
Maybe just tell us about a few things that you thought were key with today's win.
Well, key was keeping the car, which we talked about prior to the race. You know what our goals were, and our goals were to be mechanically sound and do all and block and tackle, do all those things properly. And that comes down to don't speed on pit road, don't leave the wheel loose, and don't run them out of gas, which we were. I'm still not quite. I'm still not. You know, there's like an hour there with the cautions and everything that it was real close, and he does a great job at managing that, and that allows you to have the confidence to go forward and let him rely, use his skills and save some gas and do all the things properly under caution and coast and all the right things to make to have an opportunity to win the race. And that's what we talked about all week. It was just the fundamentals, make sure that we didn't take ourselves out of the game. And you know, if you look at the lineup, is you know the guys that might have had a shot at, they made mistakes, and it was a little bit tougher to pass this time than last time, or I think everybody's organized a little bit different on the racetrack. So you know, being out front was key, and I was real worried about the fuel mileage. You know, when you're running 6th or 8th and you can do a lot of part throttling, our fuel mileage is good enough to make it from that last stop. But that's when you're running 6th. We pitted and come out, and I think he stole the lead there real quick on that restart, and we were leading that, led most of the last segment, and fuel mileage was not going to be good. And so I was really preaching to him about being very, very smart on the throttle and to save a little bit here and there when he could. So you know, that was kind of our race, and we gave him an opportunity to win the race. And from past experience, he does a great job at it. And you know, we let him take the ball and run with it. Score a touchdown. So.
Good deal. Definitely got a touchdown here today. We'll take questions for Ryan or Regan. We'll start back in the corner there, Allison, over your shoulder there with Jared. We'll come up front to Tom.
Hey, real quick too, not to interrupt you guys, this was a big deal for us. It was Hendrick Motors' 300th win as a company. So
300th win as a company.
We're very proud of that fact, and proud of the engines they build. That I didn't realize that until a little while ago, and 300 wins is a huge number, you know, in any sport, and especially in NASCAR. So we're really proud of those guys.
Yeah, Jared Turner, FoxSports.com. Regan, when we chatted on the media tour, when we talked, you mentioned your desire to get back to the Cup Series. Is this the kind of win you think that makes people kind of take notice and maybe helps you ultimately, you know, get back to reaching that goal?
I don't know. You know, I'm going to enjoy this win for what it is tonight. We're going to go back and have a good time with our team and know that we won at Daytona. It's a huge deal to win here no matter what the series is. And, you know, I myself have been trying for years, been close a lot of times, whether it was dual races or whatever, 500s, different things. So I'm going to enjoy that. You know, my comment was that this year there's 2 goals, and that's to win Junior Motorsports their first championship, and for me to prove to the right owner that I belong racing on Sundays. But that first goal is the primary goal. You know, I've got a great opportunity with a great crew chief, great team behind me, and you know, Dale Kelly and Mr. H have given us every opportunity to go out there and reach that first goal, and that's what the primary focus is going to be. And you know, if we do that, then the other stuff will fall into place. But right now, we're just going to enjoy Daytona.
Come up here to, was it Tom had a question? Over here to Hill, and then far left to Al. Go ahead, Tom, front row.
Congratulations, guys. Tom Jensen, FoxSports.com. Regan, this is your 4th series win. How does this one feel different than the first 3?
It's completely different. You know, they're all special in their own right, and they all have meaning and things like that that are different feelings and emotions that come with it. You know, at Homestead, I was coming off an interesting year, and I would say in a 2-month swing, by the time we got to Homestead, I went through every emotion you could go through as a race car driver, and that just, you know, pumped me back up to the point where, okay, I know how to drive a race car, and I know what I'm doing out here. You fast forward to, let's see, Talladega, and Talladega was a situation of wait all day long. You get to the end of the race, you make the right move. You don't know if you win or if you didn't win. You find out you win, you're excited about that. Different style race than what we did today as well. It's two completely different forms of speedway racing. Michigan, at the time was Greg's home track, and you fast forward to this, and this is Daytona. It's like it's Ryan's first win at Daytona. I know it's my first win at Daytona, and it's pretty special. We've had the opportunity to work together in the past, and to get paired back up this year and get to fight for a championship and have the caliber of equipment and people we've got working with us. I'm pumped up about it. We went to dinner the other night, with all the guys, and it's just we got a good group together that's gelled early. And that's important, and certainly a win helps to gel even quicker. And there's going to be ups, there's going to be downs. We're not going to think about anything other than just doing what we can week in and week out from here on out.
Thank you. A couple of New York guys, right?
That's right. Syracuse plays in a little while.
That's right. Okay, let's come over here to Hill, and then we'll go over to Al.
Yeah, Hill Overton over here to your right. WNDB Radio. Regan, speaking of right moves at the end, was that side drafting you did with Brad on the number 22, was that the key thing in your mind to being out front by a nose there? It looked like it was about 3 feet at the line.
Yeah, there was a couple moves that happened. We got shuffled. I guess it was, so we took the green and we got shuffled coming to the white to where I was on the outside of the 54 car, I think. And don't quote me on any of this. I got to watch the tape to exactly remember. Some of it was a blur, but we got shuffled back a little bit, and I saw Brad get just a little bit out front of the 54 as we took the white flag, and that gave me just the ability to choke the 54 down a little bit. And as Brad was having to come back and as the 54 was closing up on him, it gave us enough momentum going into turn 1 to get to his quarter panel. Once I got to his quarter panel and actually ended up almost door to door with him, then it was about just pinching him down for the whole rest of the lap all the way around. And the 6 cars back there, bump drafted me at all the right times. Just, I felt them, and it was, you're dancing around. The cars don't like the bump draft. Generally speaking, they dance around a lot when we're doing it. And, I think my biggest concern going into 3 was that the 54 didn't bump the 22 too hard with me on his door and send us both spinning, in a joint spin there. Once we came off the corner, and I pinched him down all the way through the corner. Like I said, I ran it to the wall as quick as I could. I got off of him. I had caught just the right bump from the 6 car to where it sent me forward when I needed to. And at that point it was a drag race, and we can thank our Hendrick motor for that at that point.
Far left over here, far left to Al Pierce.
Hey, Regan, Al Pierce from Auto Week. Junior was in here a minute ago, and he said that he felt like last year's finish affected you very deeply for a long time because of the fan involvement. Is that true? And if so, how long did it take you to kind of not get over that, but get where you could race comfortably again?
Well, it did, and I'm fortunate that I've got a boss who's been in a lot of situations in this sport and understands a lot of different things over the years in Dale. And we went to dinner Saturday night. We were both getting ready to run the 500 on Sunday, and we went to dinner, and I forget where we were eating, but he just basically said, you got to shake it off. It's racing. Nobody, it's no fault of anybody's. It just, things happen, circumstances sometimes happen, and he offered up a lot of good advice through that situation, and it did bother me. I mean, I'd be lying if I said it didn't. I think some quotes after the race were taken out of context, and some of the fans maybe didn't understand that I was answering another question, and sometimes that's tough to get your point across. That look, I was highly concerned about what had taken place there, and I was just answering another question after that. But with him, being able to talk to him and lean on him for advice and lean on him for situations he's been in and involved with, he's very calculated and all that stuff and understands a lot of things like that in a lot of situations. I was lucky to have him, to be able to lean on in that situation, and I've continued to do that throughout the years. I've learned more in a year and a half since I've been at Junior Motorsports than maybe I did in my whole career up until this point.
Question right here, this gentleman.
Mr. Regan, you're one of 43 drivers tomorrow, and you're kind of
I wish I was one of 43 tomorrow. I'm going to watch on TV like everybody else.
Oh, you're not, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
What is that like to try to compete for that big race?
Well, just speaking in terms of years past for me, it's special. You know, Daytona, you wake up in the morning here, I guarantee there's 43 guys that are not going to sleep very well tonight. And they're going to wake up tomorrow, and some of them will be a little groggy because they didn't get all the sleep they wanted to, and you just have that different feeling of emotion. And I got to imagine it's going to be the same feeling that 4 guys are going to have when we get to Homestead later this year, but the difference is 43 of them are going to have it here tomorrow morning. And you know, certainly it pays points, and you still get the same amount of points for Daytona, but we, as drivers, as teams, as crew chiefs, you know, we separate this event from the rest of them. This place is special, and it means more than anything to win here. And you know, I know there's a lot of guys you could talk to. You say, do you want a championship or Daytona 500? And some of them would they'd have to think about that question pretty long and hard. So you know, it's going to be a special day tomorrow. What I've seen as a driver, watching what the cars are doing and what they're capable of when they're out there running, we could see one of the more entertaining 500s that we've seen in a number of years tomorrow afternoon.
Thank you very much.